So, welcome to today's session. Very good morning. So, today, last few days, we were going on with the first two chapters. So, that was regarding the extended data types that you can learn in C++. That was your structures, pointers, and then we went on to learn about the class, and that is based on the OOP concept. So all these comes under your exact part of C++ itself. Okay. All these will come under only C++ as a programming part. Okay. So the next chapter, what we are going to learn about is known as data structures. The next chapter that we are going to learn about is known as data structures and operations. So data structures. So what do you mean by data? What do you mean by data? Data means raw facts and figures. Data means raw facts and figures. And structure means here, it is a kind of arrangement of your data. It is a kind of arrangement of your data is known as structures. Okay. So here, this chapter 3 deals with your data structures, that is based on the data that you have collected. What sort of arrangement is done on these data? What sort of arrangement is done on these data? And operations here, as usual, what you have learned, some processing has to be done. So here also, based on the arrangement of data, what are the possible operations that you could perform on these data? That is what is known as your data structures. So data is raw facts and figures. Structures here refers to the concept like the meaning, like the way how the data is arranged, the different ways how a data could be arranged. So data structures together means arrangement of your data, and operations refers to the various operations that could be performed on this data. That is what is known as your data structures and operations. Okay, so here your data is exactly grouped into two types, that is fundamental and grouped data. One is fundamental and grouped data, fundamental and grouped data. So fundamental data means what? The basic data types that you have learned. Fundamental data type means the basic data types you have learned. Fundamental is nothing but your basic data types that you have learned so far in your +1 and +2. Okay, grouped data types means what are the group data types that you have learned? Can anyone tell what are the various grouped data types you have learned? Grouped data types could be either your derived data types, then you came to learn about structures, then in the last chapter you learned about classes. Yes or no? So grouped data type means a collection of data. Group means a collection of data. So the examples that we have learned over here from last year is arrays. Then we learned about structures, the concept, okay, structures. And in the last chapter, we learned about class. So these are called as your grouped data. That is based on certain particular criteria or about something, you're collecting a set of data. That is what is known as your grouped data type. So here the examples will be your arrays, structures and class. So how these variables are declared? So when you collect these data, they have to be declared. Those data has to be declared. So how they are declared is based on the data types. How they are declared is based on the data types. So it could be a fundamental data or it could be a grouped data. It could be fundamental or it could be grouped. And modified as per needs. Modified as per needs means you can change from one data type to other. That is from last year itself you have learned. That is type promotion you have learned, type casting you have learned. Yes or no? So like that, you can change the data as per needs also, and then you can modify it. Means that is later if you have a collection of data, either you can have it as an array or a structure or a class, and then structure with arrays like that, and all you can go on to modify these data. So these data, whatever you have collected, are to be arranged based on certain principles, and vary according to the operations performed. So whenever you arrange these data, right, they have to follow certain principles. They should follow certain principles. Only if they follow those principles, you can have a complete meaning to defined towards it. Not simply leaving the data here and there. So for example, if I take up, I have some data, yes. Then I have something called as 78. Then I have something called as my name. Then I have some numbers. Some kind of data are being passed like this and it is kept like this. So what does it mean? Does it have a proper meaning towards it? No. So these has to be arranged in a proper and a particular order. Again, while arranging here also, you should follow certain principles for arranging it. So those principles, all those will be included in arrangements of this data and for the various operations performed. What are the various operations you will be learning? So for arrangement and the operations that are to be performed on these data. That is different ways it can be arranged. So what are those different ways? How they are arranged? What are the various operations? Operations means some kind of processing can be done on these data. So for all these, it should follow certain principles. For all these, it should follow certain principles. So what are those principles and how these are arranged? For that, you have certain set of algorithms and your C++ coding also. So all these only we will be looking up into this chapter. Okay, this is quite an easy chapter only. Okay, so here you can see some figures over here. Yes or no? You can see some figures over here. So you can see how they are being arranged. You can see how they are being arranged. So look into this first figure. Look into this first figure where I have put up a square. So how is the data being over there? Data in the sense it refers to the toys over here. Okay, data here refers to the toys over here. So how are they arranged? How are they arranged? So it is just scattered. It's just piled up over there. It's just mixed together. It doesn't have a proper mode of arrangement. It's not possible to find out one particular toy if someone asks for. Okay, just mixed up together. Everything is piled up together and mixed over there. It's too difficult to sort out one item from it and take one item from it. So this is one way of keeping the things. But this doesn't follow any principle over here. Just like that, it is just dumped into one place. So you have to take up your own principles, what you have to apply, and then only you can go on to find certain things from that. So this is not an easy method of arrangement of your data. Okay. So we should follow certain principles. So what are those principles? So if we have certain set of rules, how you can apply those rules and take the data from it. So for that only you have the second diagram. See the second diagram. See this second diagram. How is these plates being arranged? That is the pans or plates, whatever it is. It is being arranged in a specific order and there is a limit to add the plates. So you can see at the stand over there. Yes, you have a stand over here. Can you see? You have a stand. So inside this particular part, you can arrange only one. Then here you have another portion. There you can arrange only one. Here you have another portion. You have only one. So inside each and every rack, you are able to keep only one plate or a pan. Okay. And after the rack ends, at the end of the rack, what happens? you're not able to add any more plates or pans to it. If you have certain number of racks, only up to the end of the rack you can add something into it. After that, you cannot go on to add. Okay, after that you cannot go on to add. That is, you can see you can add up only 3 pans over here. You can add up only 3 pans over here. That is, you can see the arrow marks over there, right? So one position is given here, the next position is given here, and the next position is given here. So only 3 things are possible. So you can keep only 3 pans over here. So how is it being placed one after the other? How is it being placed one after the other? And if you want to remove, suppose if you want to remove one item from it, means what happens? You can remove from any position. You can remove the second one first. This you can remove it first. This you can remove it second. This you can remove it third. It is your choice. It is your choice. In any way you can take out the things. In any way you can take out the things. In any way you can take out the things. So it is this is one mode of arranging and removing the data from any position. Removing the data from any position. അവിടെ 3 സ്റ്റാൻഡ് ഉണ്ട്, അതായത് ഒരു സ്റ്റാൻഡിൽ 3 റാക്ക് ഉണ്ട്. ആ 3 റാക്കിൽ ഏത് വേണമെങ്കിലും you can take out first. It is your choice. There is no particular principle or given over there to take which one to be taken first. Avada or particular principle illa, that is which one has to be taken first. Here the only principle applied over here is only maximum number of plates of pans could be placed. Avada 3 rack undu, 3 partitions undu. So only principle applied over here is you can keep only 3 pans or plates over there. This is one principle applied in this diagram. Okay. So coming on to the next diagram. Coming on to the next diagram. You see, you have a CD rack over here. Okay, CD stand. You have a CD stand. Okay. Here the arrangement is also specific. The limit is also there. And while taking out also, you have one principle to be followed. Okay. And while keeping it also, one principle to be followed. You all are very familiar with this CD rack. Yes or no? This CD stand. So how do you place? First you will keep one. Then you have a middle stand over there. Yes or no? You have a middle stand over there. So inside that stand, you'll put one CD. Then above that only you're going to place the second one. Above that only you're going to place the second one. Then the next above that only you will be placing the third, until which you will keep the CDs until it reaches the top position, that is to the maximum position. After that, can you place any more CDs over there? After that, can you place any more CDs over there? That is not possible. Our stand, our center stand, our middle stand, fill avana vare you can keep the CDs. After that, can you place the CDs and close the lid? After that, can you place the CDs and close the lid? That is not possible. That is not possible. So now one specific order for arranging is you are placing one above the other. You are placing one above the other. Okay. The next thing, the next principle given over here is the maximum number of CDs that could be placed. The maximum number of CDs that could be placed. അതായത് എത്ര എണ്ണം ആ സ്റ്റാൻഡ് എത്താവുന്നത് വരെ ഉള്ളൂ. For example, it could be 50. Okay, for example, it could be 50. So only 50 CDs could be placed. You cannot place the 51st CD. Okay, and then how will you take out the CDs? How will you take out the CDs? And which CD will you take out first? And which CD will you take out first? The CD which was placed at last will be taken out first. The CD which was placed at last will be taken out first. So you have a certain principle in arranging this. Okay. In this third example, you have one certain principle in arranging and removing. Okay. So these are the various set of principles that you will be following in this chapter. These are the various set of principles that you will be following in this chapter, that is arrangement of your data. So the first one is your collection of toys simply dumped over there. Doesn't have a specific order. It's not possible an easy task for you to take out which one you exactly aim for. Okay, you have to keep searching and then only you can take. The second one is you have a stand, you can place one after the other. Placement could be in any order and removing can also be in any order. Only the principle that is followed there is only the maximum number of plates that could be placed. The third one over there is you have a CD stand, you have a particular way of arranging it, you have a particular way of arranging it, you have the maximum number of CDs that could be placed, you have a particular way of removing it also, you have a particular way of removing it also. So there are three principles that are followed here. Based on these three principles only, you are going to look into this chapter further. Is this part clear? Is this part clear? Any doubts do you have? Is this part clear? Okay. So based on these principles itself, again we are going to follow the next set of arrangement. Again we are going to follow a next set of arrangement. So look into this first example. Look into this first example. That is, children are standing in a queue. Children are standing in a queue. And in the second one, the auto rickshaws are waiting in a queue. The auto rickshaws are waiting in a queue. So how are they standing? Or how are those auto rickshaws that is placed? Each one is placed at the back of another. Each one is placed at the back of another. An item, and then how you are going to remove, that is how the queue is going to be removed. When you go into an auto rickshaw stand, which auto will come first? Which auto will come first? The auto which stands at the front, that is in the first position, will be the auto which gets a chance to take the rider. Yes or no? The auto which is standing in the front or in the first, that is the auto which takes up the chance or opportunity to take a rider. Similarly, when you are standing in an assembly, for example, last year you were standing for the assembly, right? When how did you stand? You were standing one after the other. Yes or no? You were standing. The first person who came into the queue, listen carefully, the first person who stood in the queue is the first person again to remove from the queue. That is to leave the queue. Yes or no? Assembly കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ക്ലാസ്സിലേക്ക് തിരിച്ചു പോകുമ്പോൾ who was the first person moving from the queue? It is the first person who stood in the queue. Yes or no? Could you remember? Could you remember? Assemblyക്ക് നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ ഏറ്റവും shortest person was standing in the front. The next, according to height order, you were standing. Then after the end of the assembly, who was moving from the queue first? That is the first person. Yes or no? So here also, what is your queue maximum size എന്തായിരിക്കും? Queue in the maximum size എന്തായിരിക്കും? And your class strength was 46. So only 46 students can stand in the queue of 11B. Yes or no? 46 students ആയിരുന്നു നിങ്ങളുടെ maximum class in the strength. So only 46 were allowed to stand in the queue. അതിനപ്പുറം ആരും ഇല്ലല്ലോ. So you had a mode of standing in the queue. That is arrangement. Arrangement is one after the other. One after the other. And then maximum size ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. That is, for example, in your class means that is 46. So you had a maximum size also. And then how did you remove? എങ്ങനെയാണ് ക്യൂവിൽ ഇരുന്ന് നിങ്ങൾ തിരിച്ച് ക്ലാസ്സിലേക്ക് പോയേ? The first person who stood in the front. So there is a particular way of removing from the queue also. Is it clear? So these are the various ways of arrangement of your data. So that is how you're going on for the final definition of your data as. That is how we are going for the final definition. That is how you go for the final definition of your data structure as a particular way of arranging, similar or dissimilar logically related items processed as single unit. Okay, so data structure means it is a particular way of arranging similar or dissimilar. You can have similar or dissimilar. Similar means what? All are of same type. All the data what you're collecting is of the same type. And dissimilar means it may be of the same type, it may not be of the same type. Different data types will be there. Okay, so but all these will be logically related items. All these similar data or dissimilar data, whatever it is, they are logically related with each other. They have a particular thing in common, and they are processed as a single unit, or a unit title. They'll be combined together, as a single unit. That is what is meant by data structure. Is it clear? അതായത് arranging the data സിമിലറും ആവാം, അതായത് ഒരുപോലെയുള്ള ഡേറ്റാസ്. Dissimilar means different types of data, but they are logically related. അവർ തമ്മിൽ എന്തോ some things are in common with them, and they are processed as a single unit. One work, if it is done, they are done as a single unit. ഒരൊറ്റ യൂണിറ്റ് ആയിട്ടാണ് their works will be done. Okay, allows to combine various data types and process as groups. Okay, so different data types are also allowed over there. Is it clear? So classification. So based on this data structure only, you have your classification of data structures. Okay, classification of data structures. So now look into this diagram. This is a very important question. Classification of data structure. This is a sure 2 marks question. If you draw this diagram correctly as shown on the screen, you will get 2 marks. Okay, draw the classification of data structure. You will get a question for sure for 2 marks. So draw the diagram as it is shown over here. Draw the diagrams as it is shown over here. So your data structure is actually classified into 2 types. One is simple data structure and the other is compound data structure. One is simple data structure and the other is compound data structure. So when you come into simple data structure, you have arrays and structure. This you have learned. Arrays, you learned it in last year, that is in +1. So arrays, what happens there? What is it? It is a collection of data. Of similar data type, where all the data are of same data type. That is what is known as your array. So that is why it is coming under a simple data structure. Okay, the next what we have learned this year is structure. The next thing that we have learned over here is structure. Though it is of different data types, it may be of different data types, it may not be of different data types. So it is acting in 2 ways. It can be of same data type, it may not be of same data type. But these are very simple units. That is why it is grouped under simple data structures. That is why it is grouped under simple data structures. Is it clear? So simple data structures means very simple units, some small units combined together. Okay, so that is how your arrays and structures are being declared over there. So under your compound data types means you have a large amount of data. Or a large amount of grouped data. That is why it is called as your compound data types. So your compound data types is once again classified into linear and non-linear. Okay. Compound data types is classified into two types, that is your linear and non-linear. Okay. So linear means arranging data in a sequence, or otherwise one after the other. One after the other. Linear data type means arranging the data in a particular sequence. Arranging the data in a particular sequence. That is, in a very much more simpler way, if I tell, means just placing one after the other. Example, you're standing in a queue for assembly. You're just standing one after the other. That kind of arrangement is known as your linear data structure. That kind of data structure is known as your linear data structure. Is it clear? If it is non-linear means what it is? Where data are not arranged sequentially. Data are not arranged sequentially. Where data are not arranged sequentially, it will be like scattered. In simpler way, if I tell, it will be scattered. Scattered, but you can combine them. That is what is meant by non-linear data structure. Is this part clear? That is why it is called as non-linear data structure. Linear means exactly placed one after the other. Non-linear means it is not placed one after the other. It's just scattered, but you can connect them. Is it clear? So linear over here, you have some examples, that is stack, queue, and linked list. So based on these three operations, you are going to learn this year. Okay, stacks, that is arrangement of your data. Okay, stacks, queues, and linked list. These three you are going to study this year. That is immediately following, you will be learning about this in detail. How the arrangement is done, what processing can be done on these, and how it could be implemented. All these you will be learning now. So for non-linear, you have the example as trees and graphs. For non-linear, you have the example as trees and graphs. Okay. So trees means it can be a simple tree or a binary tree. It can be a simple tree or a binary tree. Graph means that is plotting points on a graph sheet. Simply you would have learned in your 10th standard and all. No, even in your physics you will be learning. So is the points plotted in the same way? It is plotted here and there only. No, it is plotted here and there. So that is why it is coming under non-linear. This is not up to your level. This you will be learning it only when you go for your higher studies. So the simple linear structure alone you will be learning, that